Hello everyone. Cost of capital. That is what this course is all about. Now remember, a firm can raise capital from various sources like equity shares, preference shares, debentures, etc. Now this capital can be used for various growth and expansion programs, and it could be invested in various futuristic projects. So the firm must earn a certain return on these investments to satisfy the investors and maintain the market value. Now remember, the cost of capital is basically the minimum rate of return a firm must earn on its investments, right? Now the firm needs to pay a minimum return to each source of capital. So this is what the concept of cost of capital is all about. Now cost of capital is this whole course which we've devised is bifurcated into various segments. In the first segment we will be discussing the concept of cost of capital. Then we will move on to the next section, which comprises of cost of debt capital. Now debt capital is all about debentures, and debenture is a term which is derived from a Latin term debere. Debere basically means to take loan. Now cost of debt capital is calculated by various concepts like interest, maturity value, most importantly net proceeds. Now net proceeds are basically calculated by using the issue price, and all the flotation costs are subtracted. Now while par, you have to subtract the flotation costs from the issue price, while at premium you have to add the premium to the issue price, and then you'll have to subtract the flotation costs. As far as the concept of discount is concerned, so while calculating the net proceeds, you have to subtract the discount as well as the flotation costs from the issue price. So net proceeds is very important while calculating the cost of debt capital as well as the cost of preference shares. Now flotation cost comprises of the cost of issue, which includes the brokerages, commissions and underwriting commissions, the printing charges, advertisement and stamp duties. So flotation cost refers to the cost of issue. Now I am just mentioning the concept of flotation cost because it is going to be extensively used in calculating the cost of debt capital as well as the cost of preference share capital. And I have told you that it is going to be calculated on par, premium as well as discount. So after the cost of debt capital, we will move on to the next concept, that is cost of preference share capital. Now preference shares, they certainly enjoy some preferences over equity shares. Alright, now they have to be given the dividend priorly. They have to be given the dividend before giving dividend to the equity shareholders. So that is what this preference is all about. Moreover, at the time of liquidation, right, whenever it is time to wind up, the preference shareholders have to be returned, have to be paid the amount. Then comes the share of equity shareholders. So preference shares, cost of preference shares, that is what the next concept is all about. After cost of debt capital, cost of preference share capital, we will move on to the cost of equity shares, and then cost of retained earnings. Finally, the last section comprises of typical case studies and complex problems on weighted average cost of capital, WACC. Now weighted average cost of capital is also called as the combined cost of capital, and that is the most important aspect of this whole course, cost of capital. Again, it is important to mention that cost of debt capital is denoted by KD, cost of preference share capital is denoted by KP, cost of equity shares denoted by KE. These are the symbols which we will be using in our course, and cost of retained earnings is denoted by KR. So these are the symbols: KD for cost of debt capital, KP for cost of preference share capital, KE for cost of equity shares, and KR cost of retained earnings. Now retained earnings refers to that portion which is retained by the promoters. Alright, so the investors also expect some return on that amount, on that retained amount, which could have been otherwise imparted to the shareholders as in the form of dividend. So cost of retained earnings denoted by KR, and ultimately weighted average cost of capital. So this is one of the most important and very fascinating concept in finance, cost of capital. And cost of capital, remember, the firm has to have some requirement in the future for capital, and it can raise capital with the help of various sources like equity shares, preference shares, debentures, and the calculation, the modus operandi of all these cost of capitals is explained in detail in our course. So I do believe that this course is going to be a very enlightening one as far as the concepts of finance are concerned, because this comprises of the core of cost of capital, right? So wishing you a great learning experience and looking forward to see you in the next lecture.